Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Shifting Gears. My name's Grayson Harris. That's Whitney Cowell. Whitney, how
Hi.
you doing this morning?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah,
It's a
can't
pretty
complain.
day here in
Hanging in
Chattanooga.
there. Yeah, it's nice and sunny. Good day so far. Whitney, let's go ahead and just jump right into the news. Yeah, we
Okay.
got Tesla and Ford making a really big announcement in the electric vehicle market. So, starting in spring of 2024, Ford EVs will have access to over 12,000 superchargers in the USA and Canada. And what that'll essentially do is it'll double the number of fast chargers that are available to Ford customers right now. So, Elon Musk and Jim Farley, the top dogs at Tesla and Ford, respectively, they jumped on a Twitter Spaces call, because of course they did, to discuss this partnership. And from what Elon Musk said, it appears like they've really got some more stuff in plan, or more stuff planned out than just charging, right? So
Okay.
the first stage of this, by 2025, Ford's next generation of EVs will use the North American Charging Standard Charge Port, so the NACS, which is the same type that was used and designed exclusively for Tesla vehicles.
So
Okay,
Tesla's sharing now.
they are sharing their design. Yep, they're sharing their design. So until then, though, the current Ford EV users can use a special adapter to plug into Tesla's superchargers.
Hmm.
So they can still access them. It's just that they'll have to use an adapter in the meantime.
Do we know when
Until,
these adapters are going to be released?
well, starting in spring of 24 is when Ford is supposed to have access to these. So I'm
Okay.
assuming that at least by then. And then by 2025, all the new cars will just have that charging
Sure.
port. So they won't have to use the adapter or anything like that. So by making this deal with Ford, though, Tesla is basically one step closer to electric vehicle domination, even though they pretty much
Yeah.
already are. What they're trying to do is make their charging port, the NACS charging port that they made and patented back in, I think it was 2012.
Hmm.
They're trying to make that the standard for all North American EVs moving forward. So there's a race to become the standard in this market right now because it's such a new market,
Right.
and
But I think they have a leg up. They've been doing this for over 10 years.
they have, yeah, no, they've been doing it for a long time, and they're charging for it at least from all. I mean, I don't drive an electric car, so it's not like I have any sort of personal
Sure.
experience in this regard. But from everything that I've seen and all the research that I've done, it looks like that's pretty much the best design
Hmm.
for a charging port. It's smaller. I believe it charges even faster as well.
Hmm.
And Tesla's network of those superchargers is already the best in the country. They already have like the largest charging network there.
Right.
So the foundation for it, as small as it is, relatively speaking, it's already still set at least. So,
Right. Well, and I will say the most Elon Musk thing about this is announcing it over Twitter.
oh,
So
of course it is. Yeah, you got to do
kudos to you
something.
for staying on brand. I'm
And
curious though with this new technology, like what we're going to see 10 years from now based off of what has happened over the last 10 years.
I don't know, but I do know that Tesla's probably going to be a part of it because I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
there's already more of them on the road than any other EV brand combined, like by a
Right.
large margin. Ford is second, though. The big picture here is that Tesla is making their technology available to everyone so that essentially it can become the standard. They've already also talked about maybe hinting on some collaborations with technology and software updates in the
Sure.
future. So there might be even more of a standard on that. And plus, Tesla's electric like infotainment system, whatever you want to call it, is already pretty much second to none anyway. So
Yeah.
having that technology out would be a good plus for the electric vehicle community. So this is just one of those. It doesn't seem like a huge deal right now, but it's one of those small steps that you kind of have to
It's
take.
building a really strong foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the Apple of automotive technology. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
started off with an iPod and look where we've landed.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I,
Exactly.
I think this is just the beginning of Tesla's story. As long as we stay on track
Mm-hmm.
and, and focused with the brand.
Which is easier said than done when
Yep.
it comes to that guy in particular. So Tesla, by the way, fun fact, they used to be a $1 trillion company back
Really?
in the day. They were. That's the key word there. They are not anymore. But there is another company that's looking to replace them. We're talking about Nvidia here. So
Hmm.
Nvidia is a company that makes these chips, these like computer processing chips that are used to train artificial intelligence models, right? So the company itself, oddly enough, was started about 30 years ago in a Denny's by
In a
in a
Denny's.
Denny's. The best way really that I've found to put it is that like if artificial intelligence is the next gold rush, then Nvidia is selling everybody the pickaxes.
So what we're seeing is that there are new types of companies that are going to be the foundation of technology moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Our technology has evolved in a way where, you know, you had like the Energizer Bunny was such a revolutionary like icon in the world of technology once we kind of harnessed the power of what a battery can do. And now we're seeing a more advanced technology piece that powers what is to come and what will soon, I would say, in the next several decades, be just standard technology, at least for the United States. And Nvidia is really taking the reins in this. I mean, they're in on the ground level, and if they've already been established for 30 years, as most businesses do, in a Denny's, in a garage or in a Denny's, I feel like,
dream, yeah.
you know, they're established and stable enough that they've proven they can withstand the test of time, and now they are withstanding the test of evolution and adaptation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that this could soon be a household name just based off of what they're innovating right now.
Oh, yeah, and if you're in Market Street, it's already a household name. I mean, it got to
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. They're to the point where they're ready to join the likes of Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft. It's like the only
Massive
companies
brands.
as the only companies that are worth $1 trillion market valuation.
Right.
In fact, Nvidia actually did reach that mark for a very brief moment earlier this week, and then ended up closing the day at 990. So they got there for a second. Everybody popped the champagne, and they had to put it back in the bottle because at the end of the day, it didn't end up working out for them. But that is just proving that they're there, and it's going to end up happening soon. Sooner, much rather than later.
And all great brands have tried things that didn't work, and that's what pushes the thing that does. So, I'm curious to see who they end up partnering with, what brands, I guess the partnership announcements that we can expect soon, it sounds like.
Well, speaking of partnership announcements, this one didn't go very well. Wendy, do you remember FTX? Do you remember that whole thing?
I do.
Basically, FTX went down for fraud.
Yep.
That's the long story short of it. During their fraudulent advertising campaigns and whatnot, they had a bunch of spokespeople. The biggest celebrities on the planet. And by biggest, I mean quite literally the largest. 7'1" Shaquille O'Neal was one of the spokespersons for FTX. And so when FTX goes down, technically so did the celebrities because they're endorsing a fraud product, and so they have to, they're getting sued, essentially. Shaquille O'Neal has been surprisingly hard to find, even though he's on TV every night. And he's the largest human ever, just about. And, they basically couldn't serve him his papers for like months. He just somehow kept getting away. At one point, they threw the court papers like at his car, and the lawyers were like, nah, it didn't count. He didn't see him. It just hit the car. But in a ironic twist of fate, he was eventually served his papers last week.
The elusive Shaq. That game had to come to an end.
The elusive Shaq, yes. So they eventually found him while he was commentating a Miami Heat Boston Celtics game in Miami at an arena that was previously, as recently as a few months ago, named FTX Arena.
It's poetic, really.
Miami Heat had to change the name of the arena because of that, because FTX couldn't pay to have their name on there. And so, yeah, he was served his papers right there in the middle of an arena.
Be careful who you partner with.
Yeah, it's the one time in the world I don't want to be Shaq. But I just thought that story was hilarious because of the ironic twist of him getting served in an arena that was formerly known as FTX Arena.
It is quite poetic, I have to say. This was just headline gold.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that's pretty much all the stories that we have today. We had a short week as a Memorial Day, so short on the stories, but we will be checking in with you guys next week. And we hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you then.
Bye.